guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in Clearwater, Florida, and we have Chevy's mid-size three-row SUV for you. This is a 2021 Traverse. Our particular one is a 3LT with the black accent package. But before we dive into this mid-size SUV from Chevrolet, let's talk about what's going on here. The Traverse has been around since 2009, if you could believe that, and it really fit a sweet spot in Chevy's SUV lineup for those who didn't want to go too large with that full-size Tahoe and definitely the even bigger Suburban. Now, what the Traverse brings to the table is that three-row flexibility in a little bit smaller size. Main competition are going to be vehicles like the Mazda CX-9, the Toyota Highlander, and even the redesigned Kia Sorento. Now, there are some new players which kind of fall in that mid-size segment as well, the Telluride from Kia and also the Hyundai Palisade. Lots of things to think about, lots of vehicles to choose from. Chevy says that they're still doing it the best and that this should be your go-to for a mid-size three-row SUV. So let's go ahead, let's find out if the Traverse can handle the competition and is it the best mid-size three-row SUV for your hard-earned money. Right off the bat, we have the black accent package, and I think it works really well with this particular white Traverse that we have. When we start at the front of the business, you're going to get LED daytime running lamps, you have your projector beam style headlight, and then some textured bright silver on the interior of the headlight design. A little too much silver for my taste, but still looking like a new vehicle should in the 21st century. As you work your way down, you are going to get fog lamps. A lot of vehicles are getting rid of those. Still going to have them on the Traverse. Some shiny chrome trim to kind of accent and highlight that lower corner area. And then as we come across the grille, here's where you're seeing some of that black accent package. So this grille, specific to the package, the gloss black, you have your blacked out bow tie. Everything is full functional. You work your way down and you have flat black with more functionality. So that's the nice thing about the front end of the business with this Traverse. We do have a forward-facing camera, which is going to be great, especially in those parking situations, but definitely has that unique Chevy overall design that follows throughout many of their models in their SUV lineup. Now, when we get onto the hood meets perfectly with the grille. You have some interesting body lines going on. So we have outer lines and then these two inner ones. Everything is kind of angling towards the center. Gives it a unique look, but definitely Chevy-esque. What they're saying is that for 2022, we might be seeing a redesign of the Traverse. So that's another question we could raise. Should you get one of these 2021s or wait for the redesign? Now, as we come around the bend, you do get just a little bit of flat black that comes around the bend, just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And if you look at the competition, many of them do the flat black wheels. So on the black accent package with the 3LT, you have these large machined aluminum areas, metallic, dark gray finish. And if you're wondering, if you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, what's the size of this thing? That's actually a 20-inch wheel, and you're looking at 255 on the width, meaty 55 series sidewall. And I think it just goes very well with the overall simplicity of design on the exterior and the wheel style. Now, as you go down the side, you're going to get the Traverse name in chrome. I'm actually going to zonk it. Why is this not black? Black accent package should have the Traverse name in black, and I wish it was just a little bit lower on the door instead of smack dab in the center. You do get color matched mirror caps, built-in turn signals, some shiny bright metalwork both top and bottom of the window frames. They bring up that flat black along the lower sill area. And then I really do like the way they put this quarter window into the passenger door window as well, kind of extended out the chrome brushed aluminum trim, looking nice. We come to the rear, very, very seamless. They kind of just drop in that recess, massive quarter window, blacked out the rear pillar with that pillar right there. That's white. And then as you get to the rear, you're going to have a low roof spoiler. You have your color match shark fin antenna, flat black on the roof rails. So you can get your crossbars and put kayaks up there, put a cargo basket if you're going to go for a long family haul. I wish they would do something with this rear wiper. First of all, it's kind of on the smaller side, to be honest with you. Second of all, it'd be nice if they tucked it up and just cleaned up the rear glass. You do get the black bow tie within the shiny chrome finish here. Older style on the taillights, but you do have your LED brake lights. Everything else working there. And then as you drop down, you're gonna have flat black on the lower rear bumper, the Traverse badge, this LT badge, and then I do like the trumpet style exhaust, especially how there's one on each side, and you do have towing capability, which is gonna be covered up and hidden away very nicely by this plastic panel. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering our Traverse. All right guys, we got the hood popped on our 2021 Traverse. You do have hydraulic hood struts, not the sexiest of engine covers, but at least it doesn't look like a total lid off of a trash can. But the good news is you have a tried and true 3.6 liter naturally aspirated V6, 310 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. Ours is front wheel drive, so that means 0 to 60 in about 7.1 seconds. The vehicle does weigh 4,362 pounds. MPGs 18 in the city, 27 on the highway. If you want to tow with this one, you could only tow 1,500 pounds. If you need to tow more, get all-wheel drive and you could tow up to 5,000 pounds. So the good news is when you look at the competition and you're looking at the horsepower numbers, 310 horsepower is actually going to put this near the top of the heap for this class. And with a 9-speed automatic transmission, definitely better than what some of the others are bringing to the table. Well, why don't we go ahead, let's get to that interior and see what big things are in store for this mid-size SUV. All right guys, we're in the 2021 Traverse 3LT with the black accent package. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, I've been looking for a mid-size SUV. I actually messaged you to do a recent Traverse. I'm glad you got this one together. I have my shopping list with some of the other brands, a Highlander, a Sorento. How much is this one? MSRP, the way that it's optioned, is at $46,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, the disappointing part is you start off with the door panel with a very hard plastic at top. So I'm gonna zonk that. But the better news is that midsection and definitely the armrest is much softer. I do like the metallic silver to kind of break up the sea of darker material. And I'm digging that tan contrast stitching. You do have some interesting pocket in the door. That top one right in front of the switch gear is for a Twinkie easily, and then you're going to be able to put a bottle of Dr. Pepper and maybe a Whopper down in that lower pocket. You do have the optional Bose sound system, and when you come to the dash, you are going to get soft material, at least here. This is hard as a rock, this is soft, so I am going to zonk this top portion. I do like the silver trim and the way everything kind of flows to the center. The fascinating thing is you're greeted with a ton of gloss black up top, and I'm very curious what the glare factor is going to be, but you do have an 8-inch infotainment system. You're going to hear something that you probably heard through your whole life. I wish it was a little bigger. When you look at the competition, they're packing more when it comes to size of screen, but it does have navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and it is very easy to use. So one of the easier systems, you could go into cameras. GM does a great job with their cameras. Forward-facing camera, 360 cam. There's our Traverse sitting right there, out the front, all the way around. Real easy to use. And like I said, wow, look at that. Hey, Mom, there's me. You just can't see me, but I'm there. And you have the trajectory, which is great. So you are, when it comes to that camera tech, you're definitely knocking it out of the park. We hit home. I already showed you the cameras. We're going to slide down. You have dual climate, which is nice. I do like the knobs. They have a nice feel to them. The way they brought the stitch work over here. You got your start-stop button, easy to get to. And then guess what? You have 2 USBs and a 12-volt, so they got you covered there. Wonderful cubby here. So I was going to say 4 Snickers easily, and then you could have a couple Twizzlers, those shorter Twizzlers that are individually wrapped. You could put them in that tray. You got your 2 cup holders, silver trim. This is going to control that 9-speed automatic transmission. It's got the Chevy bow tie right there. Nice soft touch. I like the boot on it. Real clean. And I'm glad that this isn't all gloss black. Let me show you the key fob. There's your Chevrolet standard key fob. Of course, you have remote start. You could pop the hatch and push somebody out the back real easily. And then you do have a mode selector here. So you have snow mode and you have your normal mode. 2 modes, but it's nice to have that availability in case things do get snowy for you. This, I'm telling you, they modeled after the Mayflower. And what I mean by that is that it's hard as the wood that was used to make the Mayflower. And if you're wondering, well, what's the Mayflower, Joe? That's what the Pilgrims came on. I hope you weren't going to say the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, because that wasn't Pilgrims. But it's wide. It's just very hard. You open it up, look at this, party tray time, removable. You could put some nice Planters peanuts in there, and then you could easily drop, I would say, I think you put a football in here. So if you're done playing with your ball, then you can put it in here very easily and close it up. 1, 2, 3, seats, full leather with that nice contrast stitching. Love the material. Looks nice and wide on the lower portion. And then of course on the side, you got your full electric assist, which is great. Even a side pocket over here for a banana or two, so you don't scratch your banana. And then we're gonna have something called the skyscraper roof. What that means is we get a sunroof here, and your backseat passengers, which we'll show you in a little bit, get a sunroof back there, which is a nice touch. The one thing I don't like is this. I don't like that. Like, watch this. What that means is, what happens if I just want a little bit of light? No. What happens if I want 3/4 closed of darkness? No. So it's either open or it's either closed, one or the other. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind this Chevy Traverse steering wheel. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel of the Traverse, you do have your electric seats that are easy to get to. That lower lumbar feels really, really good. Would be nice to have some massaging seats at $46,000 because that kind of hurts me in my lower back a little bit. But overall, tons of room in here, which is great. Steering wheel, it's old school. You got your Game Boy style buttons, not the sexiest of steering wheels, not something you're gonna wanna really look at. And then the gauges, not getting any better. Analog tach, analog speedometer, fuel gauge and coolant gauge, and then you have a small digital display in the center, which we are in demo mode for the vehicle to be showcased for customers. It is a tilting and telescoping steering wheel, but it's manual. So, I don't know, $46,000. I need a little bit more, but let's get to the mid-row and see what Chevy's bringing. All right, guys, mid-row time in the Chevy Traverse, and this is really where Chevy knocks it out of the park. For this size of vehicle, you're getting a ton of space back here. Love all the pockets in the door panels and full leather on the backs. You got a good sized pocket here. The great news is you can put a back scratcher, a mirror so that your kids have somebody to talk to when they're bored on those long family trips. And then you're gonna have all the AC controls, a nice little command center. Check it out. Home power source, 2 USBs, and you got a Twinkie tray down there for your backseat passengers. I have plenty of headroom in here. You have the AC vents built into the headliner area. You do have that skyscraper sunroof. So everybody's gonna get a sunroof except for them back there, but who cares about them? Armrests, captain's chair, nice and wide. So I'm really digging that. And then check it out. Can the seats move? You better believe it. Yeah, they slide nice. And then of course, they're also gonna recline. And I'm really digging this would be very comfortable on a long family trip. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to that third row and see if those passengers are gonna be just as happy as you are sitting in this seat. All right, guys, where's Joe Rady? That's like a new game. Where's Joe Rady hiding out? I'm back here in the third row. Let me show you. The great news is for somebody my height, I was expecting my knees to be much higher near my mouth, but actually not too bad of a bend. Now I do have this captain's chair pushed all the way back, and even with it all the way back, I still have a little bit of room. But I'll tell you right now, if that was my brother, I'd give him a nice little punch in the side and say, move the seat up before I hurt you even more. USBs, like I pointed out, you do have a little Skittles tray and a cup holder for each side as well. Nice leather, but I'm telling you, and I'll go ahead and show it right now. Let me put that down right there. So there's the seat moved up. Now I feel good. So, and now I feel good sitting back here. Quite respectable for a mid-sized 3-row SUV. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out how much junk we could put in the trunk, or at least the cargo area, since there's no trunk in this Traverse. All right, guys, time to get into the cargo area. Real simple, you're just gonna hit the button right there. Does have electric assist, opens up pretty quickly. You do have a cargo net, and what's nice is on this cargo net, it's actually real easy to take down. So you're just gonna unclip it, and then it comes right down, very smooth, very seamless, just like that. There is your space. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, how much space really is that? You're looking at 23 cubic feet of space with the third row up. So that's actually quite exceptional for this size of vehicle. Put the third row down, that's 57.8 cubic feet of space. Then if you put down the mid row, you're looking at almost 100 cubic feet of space. putting down the seats is actually a breeze in this vehicle. You're just gonna pull and then push. Pull and then push. And you have a nice flat surface, tons of room, nice and wide. One thing I want to point out, since we have the seats down, your third row passengers do have USB on both sides. So that's something that some of the competition does not bring to the table. And then look what we have here. Look at this storage. Nice dry storage. You could fill this up with all sorts of snacks, Lay's, Pringles, go crazy. You can fill this up with soda and just get a straw and just drink right out of it. That's how nice of a space this is. You close it up. You even have a 12 volt. So if you're going to the beach, if you're going camping, if you're going out, you could plug something into that power source right there. Real easy, but you know what? If you're ready, I'm definitely ready. Let's take this Traverse for a little spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2021 Chevy Traverse. Like I said, that 3LT with the black accent package. Right away, the visibility is amazing in this vehicle, especially out the windshield. Let's go ahead and go on throttle. On throttle. So that 9-speed drops down. It's now time to merge onto the highway. Super smooth. The seats are supportive. They're comfy. I just wish the bottom portion was just a little bit longer. They are heated, but they're not ventilated. And to me, at this price point, that's a big zonk. They should be ventilated as well, not just heated. Another little fun little trick that this Traverse does is, watch this. You could actually raise that infotainment system and have a nice cubby in there. You could put the Pink Panther diamond. It's not going to get scratched and nobody's going to know it's there. So that is a little bit of extra touch that you get with the Traverse that you just don't get with any of the competition. That is for sure. But visibility out the back is great. Mirrors are a great size. You're going to get all the safety features, which is wonderful. It's just the armrest is not a very nice place to put your arm, so they should call it something else. But steering wheel, nice thickness. Just wish it was a little sexier to look at. Let's go ahead and do another on throttle. Drops down, and we are off. Remember, you're going to get some class-leading horsepower in this vehicle when you compare this to a Highlander, even when you compare it to a CX-9, the Telluride, the Sorento. So you're getting a great amount of power. Going down the highway here, super smooth. It does soak up the bumps nicely, so they did a great job on the shock absorbers, the chassis setup. I'm excited to see what this redesign is going to be all about. But you know what? If you need a new 3-row, you may not be able to wait. Overall, pretty quiet in here. A little bit of wind noise from the mirrors, but other than that, fairly quiet inside the cabin. Just this hard plastic, I'm not too sure about. I wish it wasn't, I wish the materials, the level was a little bit higher in here, but it does drive very, very nicely down the highway. Steering wheel, if you don't like a heavy wheel, it's very light. Of course, you're not going to be doing really any corner carving in this, so you're not going to have to worry about overall left and right turns and transitions. Analog instrumentation is easy to read. Of course, I think we're ready for just full digital displays, especially when you look at what the competition is bringing at this price point. We have a truck on fire next to us, so we never have a dull moment on Rady's rides. It's just interesting because this vehicle does some things really well, but then when it comes to the amenities, that's where it shows its age. And I think, I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that on the redesigned Traverse, we're gonna find a lot of those extra features like ventilated seats at this price point. Now, of course, there are higher trims, but I am trying to compare this with what the competition has when we're looking at the same kind of money. But driving down the road, it is very quiet in here, which is nice. And it's easy to manage. Like, if you're not wanting a vehicle like the Tahoe, or like I mentioned earlier, the Suburban, this vehicle is very easy to manage down the road, in parking spots, in the garage. And then my favorite part that the competition can't hold a candle to is definitely going to be the technology when it comes to the cameras. We also have our digital rear view mirror, which is great, super clean. Remember, that does not use the backup camera. This uses a separate camera to give us just a clear view out the back. General Motors really brought that technology to the forefront, and it's great to have in this Traverse for sure. Turning, nice. I'm telling you, the steering has a good feel overall, and then when it comes time to merge, you do have plenty of power, and the 9-speed shifts very efficiently, which is great. But hopefully this gave you a good overall feel of what the Traverse is all about. 3LT trim. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. I was a poet, I didn't even know it, but I definitely gotta thank Raheel and Eli and the rest of the crew getting us access to this 2021 Traverse. Is it the ultimate 3-row midsize SUV? I'm not too sure about that, but you definitely want to add it to your list if you're looking for something to haul your family around, haul your friends around, because you're going to have that midsize on the outside. But boy, oh boy, Chevrolet did a great job with the interior volume. And then of course, that great power that in this class gives it a lot of oomph, especially when you are driving down the road. But if you want to keep seeing 3-row midsize SUVs on Ready's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Ready's Rides merch. Got to give it up to the queen of the camera. She's out here holding it down like a champ. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.